Nearly tail slapped me. Didn't take long to get this bite. A couple of hours after taking the rod out. Little white signature over a bed of Manila active and big southwesterly winds, and it's pouring down now. How big?
14.
Nice. Well, just got back down, so I fished the Friday night and managed a couple, a 30 and a 32. I got footage of both of them. It's coming up to bank holiday weekend, but I'd booked a couple of days off, the Thursday and the Friday, so it's Wednesday evening. The swim's free, that I've caught a few out of late, so I've put a bucket in there. I'm just having a walk round. What time is it? It's about 7:30. So I've got a couple hours before dark, but should be alright getting the rods out. No spots. Just a couple of spoms of bait out there. And should be set for the morning. It's normally, I think they've been late evening and early morning. Typical for springtime. Oh, and I've just forgot my rucksack with all my tackle in it. So the missus is going to have to bring it down if I decide to stay. Not a great start, but hey, we'll see how it goes. Yes, I'm just having a walk around the other side of the lake, the opposite side to the car park. There's one chap down in the swim. He's been here for a few days, I think. You can have a week, and I think a few people are doing a week. As the weather's got slightly better, and there has been a few fish out. So, I mean, it's not too warm at the minute. Looks like there's a bit of a northerly wind blowing. Let's see how it goes. So I'll get back to you either later on tonight, or first thing in the morning, because I normally do overnight, as I don't get loads of time to capture everything. So I'm going to see if I can try and film a little bit more for you guys. Let's see how it goes. Nice bivvy table, compact, lightweight. Right, I better go because I'm going into the swim. Well, first light, about 4 in the morning. Managed to get all the rods out by about 8:30. Everything went out perfect, see a few fish. And I've woke up at 4 this morning. I think I've seen a few fish, a couple of fish out that way in the deep water. And I think also I see one on the edge of the island down that way. So we'll see. Where I'm fishing is a bit of a passing point, this island. They tend to come out of the deep, they tend to drift down the deep end in the night. Oh, there was one. And then when they move down into the shallower area, sometimes you can pick them up from this middle zone. Is a good area to be in at the minute, because they do spend a lot of time out that area in the day in the upper layers. and then that's like a shallow shelf towards that island. So I think you can pick them up when they're at the right heights, the heights they want to be at. In the water column, yeah, they're shown in the deep end. That's another one I've seen out in that corner, that deeper water. Like I say, when I think they're out there, you're going to be fishing it's about 22 feet at the minute. The water's up a little bit, water level in the lake. So if I was to move over to there, it'd have to be zigs for this time, because they're showing consistently that much on the surface. I mean, you might stand a chance on the bottom. This is where I'm trying to position my rigs onto a shallow shelf, like marginal spots during the day, and so they do go around this island like a roundabout a bit. It's just when they come round. I'll show you. I'll show you right here. If we concentrate on that area in that corner, hopefully we'll see them show. It is looking good, and I think it's the first clear skies for a few days. It has been really like overcast. So 1 minute it's warm, next minute we've got rain showers. So hopefully it'll be a bit more consistent. There's another one, just as I've panned the camera around. Another one's just showing, you might be able to see the rings from it. Zoom in. Let's see if we can get one. I mean, the light's not the best, not at the minute. See how it goes. There's only a couple of other anglers on as well, so it gives me a chance to move if I need to. Hopefully I'll get a bite this morning, and then I won't be scratching my head thinking I need to move. I mean, I did find out yesterday from one of the other anglers on that there'd been a guy in here for a couple of nights, so I don't know what bait's been put out. I mean, I don't think they're eating loads of bait at the minute, but I think the swim had 24 hours rest before I got in it, so it's not bad, because this can be a bit one in, one out at the minute. As it's springtime and everybody wants to get fishing, I can understand. There's another one showing the deep water. So I'm going to try and position the camera a bit better, so we can see when that's what 5 shows now in 10 minutes. It's definitely a few of the stock down this end of the lake in the deep water. Maybe zigs is getting that time of year. I mean, we've had a really slow start to spring. It's not been very warm at all. Loads of northeasterly winds. I just wonder whether the lake might be a few weeks behind from like last year. And when them upper layers do warm up, they do like to mill around on the surface a lot, with the lake being anywhere from 14 foot to 20 foot if you was on the bottom of the lake rather than on a shelf. I think a good bet is on a zig, presented a few feet from the surface. At least you've got a hook bait somewhere near they want to be. I mean, not last spring, spring before, I fished here, did really well on the zigs. casting zigs to show and fish. And then when the pressure dropped below 1,000, I'd always fish on the bottom, intend to catch. So maybe it's getting that time. I mean, I think I've had probably 6 to 8 fish this spring. Probably done about the same amount of nights, and every bite has been off the bottom. Where a couple of springs ago, I was catching them on zigs first, and then you'd wait for low pressure to come in, and as soon as low pressure come in, you'd ping a couple on the bottom, and if you got a bite on the bottom, you knew it was down, get the other rod on the bottom as well. I mean, some people say, oh, you should fish all three rods on zigs if you're doing it, but that's alright. But on here, I think with there being so much water column, it's probably worth having 1 or 2 on the bottom and then another one on the adjustable, just work them layers. And if you do catch one on the old adjustable, you can switch them over. But I mean, some of the swims are quite tight, so it can be a bit dodgy having loads of zigs out there. And if you get a take and it goes across, you can't really stop them with some of the size of these fish in here, and only fishing low pound hook length, anywhere from £9 to £11. You can't really clamp down your clutch and hold them because it's gonna break. So you have to let them go where they want. That's why I tend to, when I am fishing old adjustable zigs, so I tend not to fish all 3 out there, maybe 2 max. But I've done well just fishing 1 rod. I'm thinking, not on here anyway, maybe a bigger sheet of water, definitely. But on here, don't really need it. Don't know if you can hear that, the old train, the railway line is at the back of the lake, out that way, runs along the back that way. Yeah, the birds singing actually feels like spring. It's really good. Oh yeah, and then I forgot to mention, it was full moon last night, so I don't know which one it was called, I can't remember. I did look on Google. It's normally pretty good the night after as well, so hopefully that helps. Yeah, there's a couple of big commons in here I've not caught. One in particular goes anywhere around £44 mark, I think. But that one don't get caught much. It's quite rare if you catch that one. I mean, some of the other bigger ones can come out 3 to 4 times a year, but that common can go a whole season without capture. I think it got caught once last year, maybe, and then the spring before that, maybe once as well. So I hope the old moon, there's another one just shown, I hope the old moon plays a part and I'll catch that one whilst I'm fishing for the others. I think today, if we have a little update, I think I've had, what I have now, 2 40-pounders, scraper 40s, ounces over, 2 30s, and 3 20s. So yeah, that's what I've had. Not bad going. I mean, it's not the easiest of lake because it is quite small and pressured. Yeah, they're cagey carp. They know when they're being angled for. That's what I say about the zigs as well. I've done that before. I had loads of fish in a corner or out in the middle, sat near on the islands or out in open water, and I've pinged 2 zigs out there and they've pushed away. Whether it's because of the disturbance, it might not took a liking to it. So when I have found fish like that, sat in the corner or on the edges, anywhere, I tend to fish a real light lead, like 2.5 ounces. I know some say you should fish a lot heavier to keep it down, but in here you don't really get like big undertows or crosswinds, and I know that lead's going to hold bottom. So there's no need to fish a massive lead. Plus, when I'm fishing, when I'm playing fishing, it's not as awkward. You ain't got a big old lead dangling down, nearly adjustable. So yeah, I tend to fish a 2.5 ouncer, and I think you can get that in amongst the fish without it being too much disturbance. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I tend just to fish one rod, one adjustable rod, light lead. See if we can get a bite on it. Try and keep the disturbance to a minimal, because they do know. It's like with the old floater fishing. They can they'll sit there taking floaters. As soon as you put your hook bait, probably like most places, they're gone. They know. It's like they can see that line. So yeah. I think this will be maybe the first morning, first evening I've not had a bite. I've been quite lucky of late, turning up, having the rods out, getting a bite within a few hours, and then you're off to a good start already. Confidence is up, and pressure's off, and then if I catch another one, result. Whether it's because I turned up a bit later last night, and when I turned up, the chap on the other side, had a quick chat with him, and as I walked into his swim, his rod was away, so I left him to it. So whether I might have missed that bite time, early evening. I'm sure there'll be chances this morning. Predominantly this lake does seem to do them in the mornings, like anywhere from 7 to 10 is a good shout, and then later in the afternoon. So, should be good. Plenty of time anyway. I've got all today, tonight, tomorrow. I could even squeeze in a Friday night if I needed to. Not needed to, if I wanted to, rather. See how it goes. I haven't seen one show for a good 5 minutes now. I'm sure they're still about down in that deep water. Old coots are loving it, with the young uns. I've been on them islands, diving on them shallow spots, so it can be a bit of a nuisance, because some of them casts ain't the easiest with a big old overhanging trees in it. You have to proper pin it in there, get your rod down low, fire it straight in there. If you sat way up high of it, you're going to get caught in them trees. Yeah. And there's one just showing there, 3/4 of the way out. Maybe I should check the pressure. Yeah, pressure. Let's check that. Because that can play a big part in it down here in the spring. It's really sky high that you tend to find them in the upper layers. Yeah, there we go. Don't know if you can pick that up on there. 10, 18, 10, 20. Yeah. Higher than what it has been last few weeks. There we go. Let's see if we can get one on film for you. Oh god, there's one there. Typical. I've turned the camera to the deep water where they're showing, and one's just pushed out in the channel. That's a good sign. So hopefully they are moving between it. Just need them to get up on that shelf. Oh, there's one. There you go. Got one. Zoom in. Just try and hold it on that. See if another one shows in that direction. It's going to be old red sky in the morning. Good. Bit of sunshine. Really good ones just showing on that branch that separates the two swims. One swim commands that side of the island, and this one commands this side, and that tree separates it like through the middle. And they do show around that. Although I fished up tight against that and just never seemed to get a bite off of it for some reason. It's a good area though, you get good drops there. But I've never seen or heard of anybody catching right up tight to that bit. Maybe a few feet, well, a few rod lengths away, should I say. Not slammed right in there. That's a good sign though. Seeing a decent one show on the island, that's good. Hopefully going up and down that island. And that was a decent fish because the old rings have reached my bank from that carp washing out. And what's that? That's about 65 yards, something like that. Maybe a little bit further. God, that was a good job I panned out. I thought I'll pan out a bit just in case one decides to show somewhere else along that island and one's just showing halfway out. Oh, Jesus. That was a good fish. Hopefully you got that. There we go. So that's in a swim to the left of me's water. Kettle's on. Gonna give you a little tip to warm your cup up in the morning. Stick your cup flat over the steam it and get it piping hot. You might have cold tea after 2 or 3 minutes, rather than just swilling a bit of water around in your cup. I mean, that does work, but this definitely gets your cup a lot hotter. There you go, you can see this old piping hot now. And serve your tea. It's now about 7:30. Nothing's happened. The fish stops showing around about 6 o'clock, 6:30. Not seeing anything else. Flat calm. It's fairly cold, to be honest. Suppose I'll give it a good few hours, till 10 o'clock-ish. I'll have a walk around, see what I can see. I think I might have seen a few fish down that end. Might have been the last one I see over that side about 15 minutes ago. But yeah, we'll see. The old full moon, big common, yet to do anything. Still early. Oh, there was one. Oh, so there is still a few fish then, right in front of that peg. There's still some fish down in the open water, which is nice. So I always feel they'll come around there, come around this island at some point. Oh, and there's another one. So there's two. So they haven't stopped showing. I probably just ain't been looking as much. The only thing is with there, that's what I'm saying, like you'd be in 20 odd foot of water there. So if they're showing on the surface, don't look like they're feeding shows, just more splashing around on the top. I've seen them before in here where you see like you think like they're coming up from their bottom, but they're not. I've seen them from being in the tree, 5 or 6 fish just milling around on the surface, and then they'll just come out of the water, and then they obviously go back down, but they're like 2 foot under the surface. And you'd probably move on that thinking, oh, there's fish showing there, a good sign, but they're just hanging around on the top. I think when they're showing, you need to see them like feeding shows. I think they need to be like up and down, just like straight up and then down, rather than like splashing over. I could be wrong, but the times I've had them showing over me straight up and then down is when I've caught. But could be wrong. It's spring, so they're probably just bouncing around, getting the leeches off of them. I suppose it's better to be on showing fish than no fish. But they've been all over. Been in that corner, down here, and I've been down there, been in this channel. Not really located in one particular zone. Going back to what I said earlier, I think they're going around in pods, small pods of carp. Probably a bit harder to catch when there are not so many of them together. But we'll see. Our battery's going to go dead, so I'm going to change that. Give it a little bit. And I'll get back to you later. It's probably worth mentioning that where I'm fishing, there's 2 lakes. There's a smaller lake with a good few 30s in it, upper 30s, and a load of 20s. It's really good for stalking. So I've already been round and baited a few margin spots, and I'll see if they come to life in a bit. The bait's all still sat there, but it's still early for the margins. So if it don't look like we can winkle one out of here, it's always a last resort if I can get a margin spot going before I leave. Try and stalk one out of there, so I won't be going home empty-handed, as we say. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll get back to you in a bit. Now this is a small lake, and I've got them going on the floaters. Proper going for it as well. And they're all over. Yeah. Had to feed all the bird life off. Swans, coots, ducks, seagulls, you name it. And there, got them. don't know how many I've put out, loads. Yeah, I think this is the opportunities I was on about. There ain't much happening on the big lake. When my time's up, or I fancy reeling in, bringing a rod over here, that's what I'll do. Just want to see a couple of the decent ones taken first. Some more out there. Well, there we go. Let's try and get that on film. It's not that warm either. It's flat calm, pressure's fairly high though. Put some bait in the margins and ain't even been touched. So obviously loving being in the upper layers. Get a few more of these out. Oh no. Heading my way. This could be trouble. Well, I've got one. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. The rod's burst off into life. Fish is tensing up a little bit. The bite come out of nowhere. Proper hard fighting carp as well. Took me all the way down the margins. Had to wade in, get the net. I'm stuck in a big weed bed at the bottom of the shelf. So, but I got there in the end, managed to get it in. It's an upper 20. It's a good start. Still got tonight left. And tomorrow in the day, if needs be, if I want to stay. This fish is tensing up though. So it did put up one hell of a fight. Don't think it was best of pleased. So I'm just giving it a minute just to chill out. I'm not going to try and lift it whilst it's not ready. Keep the water on it. It's quite sunny now. It's been sort of miserable until midday. Yeah, and then the sun's come out and the bite's happened. Yeah, it is a good time for afternoon bites. So we've got a few leeches on it. Every time I go to pick it up, it tenses up. So almost like it thinks it's in trouble. Yeah, I'm not liking this. Give it another minute. If she won't come up, I'll put her back. I don't reckon this one gets caught much. Don't look very familiar. Heck's all down, it's all good. Yeah, I've not had this often happen. Calm down. Proper tensed up. Relax, gal.
That's better. Settle down a bit now. Try and do one more. That's about that.
Result. On the final morning of the session, one of the rods is gone. I've managed to land this upper 20 by the looks of it. Right result. Haven't seen too many showing this morning, not like yesterday morning. It's been a bit calmer. I did see one show of my area. No, that's about it. Still early, about 5:30 I'd say, something like that. I've not looked yet. So we'll get this one on the bank and see what it looks like. We're coming to the end of the session now. Got 2 to 3 hours left, depending on how it goes. I could stay tonight, but I've got to pack away early tomorrow. Not something I want to be doing really. Yeah, I've already done 2. I've done the 2 nights, had 2 fish, 1 mid-20 mirror and a £29 mirror earlier. So which is good, 2 fish in 2 nights, ain't bad going. They're not really been that active today, I think because of the sun coming out. A lot of high pressure it is. Very flat calm. I think they're just cruising about, milling around on the top. But I still think there's a chance. Yesterday afternoon my bike come about 3 o'clock, so still got a couple of hours before that time. So we'll see. I'll sit it out. Hopefully one more chance of a bite. And then I'll try and get back next weekend, Friday after work, see how it goes.